Hi, I'm Gary Byrne. I wrote the book Crisis of Character, which is a book about my experience with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky and her scandal with the president. In this little clip I was showing you of her crying and how emotional she was, my first response to that is, what did you think was going to happen, Monica? What she's not talking about, she's being applauded because she's coming out and being forthright, supposedly. What she's not talking about is her responsibility. Monica Lewinsky went to the greatest extents to manipulate the Secret Service, the White House security system, access to the president. She befriended Betty Curry, officers in the Secret Service, agents, to put herself in a position to be right next to Bill Clinton. She got what she wanted. For God's sakes, she's trying to make it look like in one of the stories in this article, and this new documentary's coming out, it's talking about she was summoned to the Oval Office and then given gifts, and then she pleasured the president in the bathroom. Listen, she got what she wanted. She actually told me one time when I was standing post and I refused her access to the area that she's not used to hearing no. She manipulated everybody. She did what she always did when it comes to pursuing somebody, and this is what happened to her. Am I sorry that it happened to her? Yes. It was Bill Clinton, a 49-year-old adult, and the president? Yes. He pursued her. She took steps to put herself in his path when she worked as an intern, when she finally manipulated herself to be a paid employee. I had her removed, and Bill Clinton and her manipulated her way back into the Oval Office, into that area. She got what she wanted. She did everything she possibly could. During the government shutdown, I stopped her I tried to stop her from giving Bill Clinton pizza. She was there as an intern to help Leon Panetta, and she saw this opportunity to bring pizza over to the president, and she knew the president would eat anything, for God's sakes. And, and I stopped her. But she doesn't talk about that. She's just talking about all the heartbreak and what it did to her family. She doesn't take any responsibility for the damage that she did to the other people that because of her behavior and President Clinton's behavior. So watch the documentary with a grain of salt and read my book, Crisis of Character, and that will fill you in the backstory of her real behavior. I warned her. The Navy steward, Nelvis, warned her. He actually said to her in my presence one time outside the Oval Office, if you don't be careful with your behavior, you're going to end up like Paula Jones. And she looked him right in the eye and said, I'm smarter than her. Am I sorry she is known as the oral sex queen of the United States? Yes, I am. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. And I'm glad that she talked about, she was so depressed at one time, she talked about taking her own life. I'm glad she didn't. But she put herself in that position. And to do this documentary in the way that they're doing it, and she's leaving out all her responsibility. She talks about her responsibility a little bit, but she's not telling the truth of how she manipulated all these systems. My first question when I was subpoenaed to the lawyers from the Secret Service and from the Justice Department was, I asked them, did they know for sure that she wasn't a Russian spy? Think about this. She got in just because of a smile and flipping her dress up to show the president her damn thong. I mean, that's another thing she did one time. She showed the president her underwear walking down past the Oval Office when he was out in the hallway one time. She pursued him in every way she could. And that's why I brought out to the investigators during the scandal, are we sure she's not a Russian spy? Because look at the access she's gotten herself. So they looked at me like I was crazy until they realized the ramifications of what she had done and what really happened. Because nobody understood what was going on there, as well as the people in the Secret Service like myself. The list of people that warned Monica Lewinsky about her behavior: West Wing receptionist Debbie Schiff, the officer that worked in the West Wing, Brett, myself, Gary Byrne, my partner, one of my partners, Sandy, Betty Curry. The most important person that warned her was Linda Tripp. And if it wasn't for Linda Tripp, people like to paint her as the villain. She wasn't. If it wasn't for Linda Tripp, I'm telling you, Monica would have not survived that ordeal, because there would have been no DNA evidence, and would have been the investigation's word against ours and Monica's, and they still would have run her into the ground. And she, in my opinion, she would have either ended up taking her own life or ended up in one of those one-car Arkansas suicides. I believe Linda Tripp's actions saved Lewinsky's life and many other people's. How do you not know when you're being told by the police department that protects the White House that you're not supposed to be there? She was completely dishonest, and she's being at least partially dishonest. She may be telling you about her actions with the president that she did, but she's not telling you the steps that she took to put herself in that position. You don't just walk into the White House. She manipulated every system that was set up, and she still got in. She got what she wanted. What did you think was going to happen? Gary Byrne. I wrote Secrets to the Secret Service and Crisis of Character.